seat. Assistant football coach David Consiglio. Thanks, Dave.
Bow your heads real quick. Get back to the good Lord. Heavenly Father, we thank you and praise you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity just to gather in fellowship. We thank you and praise you for the food. We ask that you bless it. Bless those that help prepare it. Thank you for God and MSHSAA Sports Network and all they do, Lord. Let's one prayer blessing upon each and every coach in here, Lord. Bless their efforts with their young student athletes, Lord. We ask that you allow us to change lives one opportunity at a time. We're nothing without you, we're everything with you. It's in Jesus' precious, powerful name we pray. Amen.
Hey, Chef. Been waiting to do this for a long time. Art, it's been almost a year ago to the day that she texted me that morning and said, don't think I'm going to make it, I got a doctor's appointment. And it's been a long time coming, but we turn it over now to the MC and the church.
Okay, thanks, Guy. Great to be back with everyone. And this is a long-time event, of course. I was told when I came to town in 1977, the quarterback club and tip-off club are two things I need to go to. And sure enough, I've enjoyed it throughout and getting to hear about the different programs. We'll start out again with Coach Consiglio and tell us a little bit about what the Bears are up to right now.
You bet. Appreciate it. I'd be remiss if I didn't, again, deflect all the attention from me and what we got going on. There's a bigger battle waging and warring. Coach Beard has great direction, great leadership over the team. It's faith first. Okay? I haven't always been that way. It's been football first, other things, but it is genuinely faith first. And the one thing, the two words that have really been on our hearts as a whole team and coaching staff has been remember me. And not me as in the person, but remember God. Remember God in the highs and the lows. Remember those times where you've been in the dumps and He pulled you out. Remember those times when you're on the mountaintop and He helped you get there. And I say that because since the season started, we've had 2 kids that are out right now with medical issues, not even football related, they're just life related. I don't have enough time to go into all of it, and I don't want to speak to injuries, but there's power in this. So the week leading up to Kansas, we met as a coaching staff. Whoever wanted to, it was just voluntary, and we did a coach's prayer walk. And we basically prayed in foresight, the locker room, the weight room, the field, and then the game day locker room. The very next day, and we went into that, and I challenged the coach. I said, remember me. Hey, remember me. Remember God, in the good and the bad. There are going to be times when we're riding high, remember Him. In the lows, we remember Him. The very next day, we had one of our players have a medical issue in the locker room. Right there in the locker room. The very same exact place that we just prayed the day before. We can't make this stuff up. I didn't even recognize it or realize it until we were on the practice field the next day. And Coach Beard said, you realize what we did the day before. And I was kind of hot on that. Our coach's prayer. And that kind of said, so we didn't even need more than 24 hours to really settle in and realize, remember me. Okay? And I say that because I've talked to some people in here. We're sitting at 0-2 right now. It's frustrating, trust me, we're all competitors. Okay? But at the end of the day, there's a bigger battle that's being waged in the Lord right now. And I know where our hearts are, I know where our guys' hearts are, and it's up to us to get it turned around. But I say that because this past week, Connor Laird got diagnosed with cancer. There's another one, like, that kid is so strong in his faith, just confident and courageous. When he found out about it in the hotel room about UT Martin the next day, I've got tears in my eyes. I'm bawling like a baby. And he's just sitting there confident and courageous, and he says, Coach, I know God is going to use this for glory and for good. And I'm just blown away. But those are the kind of attitudes and the kind of hearts that we have, within the Missouri State football program. And again, prayers. Everybody needs prayers. We got to pray for you guys. If you can please pray for us, pray for Connor, pray for Colino. He's the other young man. But again, it's bigger. It's bigger than just the wins and losses. And for me, 5-10 years ago, I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have been here because I'd be embarrassed. I'd be frustrated. I'd be feeling sorry for myself. But as I mature in my faith, I'm beginning to understand it's bigger than that. It's about the relationships we build. It's about teaching these young men that it's more than just wins and losses, but it's life lessons. Any other questions, follow-ups that you have? So I will say this, just I don't want to take up too much time, just because I know we're limited on time. There's God put on my heart, let's say a year ago, last November, to write a book. I got copies back there if anybody wants one. They're $15. Come see me. It's not about me and my family. We're donating everything back to Victory Mission, FCA. And I'll just give you a quick little shout out of what it's about. The front half of it is me and my failure as a young man, partying, drinking, having fun. Failure as a husband, failure as a coach, and then the redemptive grace of God pulling me through that. The second half, in the middle of it, it's filled with God stories. We've had 3, 4 young men on the football team give their life back to Christ in the weight room, in the nutrition area. Then the back half of it is we talk about faith-filled leadership. And we encourage everybody to use their platform to glorify God and spread the great news of Jesus Christ each and every opportunity we have. Okay, so again, go out there if you want to, come see me. Thank you again, God, for the opportunity. I greatly appreciate it.
And the Bears do have their home opener this Saturday afternoon against Utah Tech. Let's hear next from Coach Ruffin. What's going on in the park?
All right, I just want to say first off, it's an honor to be standing here in this room as a first-year head coach. I've heard and seen extraordinary coaches of my time as just being an assistant as a player in the area, so just to be up here is pretty cool. So for Parkview to start the year, we had a pretty tough schedule and 0-4 to start, and it might not translate on the scoreboard what our kids are doing, but they are working extremely hard in the weight room. The culture has completely changed, and they're growing and getting better each week and still learning how to win. Okay, so eventually that light bulb's going to kind of come on, and we'll be able to compete more on a weekly basis and start to get wins on the scoreboard. But we're having minimal penalties, hardly any personal fouls, and we're winning in a lot of areas, just not quite on the scoreboard just yet. But areas where we need to continue to improve are just doing the little things consistently, controlling what we can control. And any game when there's a big momentum shift, we kind of lose focus and get off our path. And again, those are things that we're going to continue to work on. We're kind of just right there. All right, we're extremely proud of our guys, and that's our message to our team, is just to get better each week, and it could happen this week or next week, and we're just going to keep staying on the same path. Just to kind of recap some of those games, big time programs, Lebanon, Camden, everyone we played, our first drive defensively to start those games have been 12, 13 play drives to allow them to score, and then eventually they punch it in. Offensively, we're methodically driving the ball down the field, and when we have our opportunity to punch it in or get a wide open guy, we're just not able to connect right now. So it just seems like there's a lot of pressure on us to just kind of finally break through, and we just haven't done that yet, and we're fighting every day to get to that point. So this is my first one of these, so I don't know how to finish, or that's about all I have. So.
Good job, Coach. Thanks.
All right.
Next up, I well remember his playing days in the public. Now has a great program going at Fairgrove, Coach Bill Boyce.
All right, guys. You have to, Paul, I'm not good with a mic, so if I'm not speaking loud enough or whatever, just let me know. But I appreciate you guys having me out. Right now we're off to a 4-0 start at Fairgrove. It's we're blessed to have some really special athletes on both sides of the ball. We've got 4 seniors that start on our offensive line with a junior that was a starter again last year. It's a fun time right now as far as Fairgrove football goes. Our culture is really good. I think the biggest difference for us at this point, we've had some teams this is my 10th year at Fairgrove. We've had some teams that have been off to this kind of start before. The biggest difference I feel like with us this year is the commitment that our school board, our administration, our athletic directors put in. They got us 2 new coaches, and so you take a program that's had 50, 60 guys out there with 4 coaches, and now you get 50, 60 guys with 6 coaches. It kind of changes how we can practice. It changes what we're able to do on days like today where our JV is going to go and play, but we're able to have a full varsity practice on a Monday, which are things that we've never really had the staff to do before. And then on the defensive side for us this year, we've changed defensive coordinators, and I've got 3 guys on our defensive staff, Ryan Buffington, Paul Thomas, and Mike Zanzi, who are all 3 capable of being defensive coordinators at any program they wanted to go to. And currently our defense is averaging, only giving up about 4.5 points a game. And so you couple that with our offense is like 54 points a game. It's been fun to be on the sideline and watch those kids be rewarded for all their hard work and the stuff they did in the off season. You know, we changed how we worked out this summer. We switched from, you know, just early morning to 5 a.m. workouts, and it's, I think that the toughness aspect of that, you know, has been one of the biggest differences, along with the ad and the coaching staff, that has kind of put us where we're at now. We've got a game against Stockton on Friday. Stockton's much improved. They have 2 blowout wins against teams, and then they've got 2 close losses against undefeated teams. So it's their homecoming. I expect that they'll play really well when we get to town, and it's an important game for us because we got to keep on track, and we got Stratford next week, which is the one I know that everyone will be talking about, but we got to make sure we keep our kids focused on this one. So I appreciate you guys having me out again. Thank you.
Next we'll hear from Coach Wes Page. Yeah.
Thanks for having us out today. Pretty exciting. This is my first quarterback club with the legend Art over here. I love coming to these things, but it seems this year it's kind of been our bad luck. Before I came here week 2, our quarterback, our senior quarterback, went down with an ankle injury, and this Friday he went down with another leg injury, and he'll be done for the season. We kind of really hit the injury bug this last week against Aurora, who's definitely on the up and up. They've got some big boys up front, and they're learning how to play it right. We had 4 seniors go down this last week. Most of them will be multiple game injuries. And this week coming up, we've got we like to refer to them as the school out east, Rogersville. I don't normally like saying that. It's a dirty word at Springfield Catholic. But Coach Talbert's really got those guys going. You know, they lost their quarterback early in the year. Taysom Pringer, he tore his ACL in the first game of the year. They're playing unbelievable defense there. Their offense has been struggling, but their defense has picked up the slack and scored points for them. But we've just got to find a way to hit the reset button this week. Rally around the guys we do have. We'll have our freshman quarterback back in who started against Seneca. He's really talented, you know, but a freshman is still a freshman, and we've got to get our guys rallying behind him. And you know, our schedule doesn't let up. We're playing Rogersville is probably the best defense we faced all year. They've really got it going there. But our guys always get excited to go play that other school, and so we're going to get ready and face the second half of the year head on. Our guys know that as we get later into the year and we get to our district, if we can find some momentum there like we did last year, we can start to compete at the end of the year and hopefully bring home a big win this week against Rochester. Thanks.
Well, Evangel is in a new conference this year. They're off to a 4-0 start. Had a record-setting performance last week with one of their coaches.
Yeah, thank you guys. Good to see you guys again. And yeah, we had a player, Eric Williams, scored 5 touchdowns in the game. 4 of them were rushing. He had 204 yards rushing during the game. Just a nice player. And so really proud of what he was able to do. just kind of reflecting on the game, really it was an interesting game in itself. Offensively, we've been able to score. I think we're at 114 points in the last 2 games. And so really done a good job on the offensive side, getting some schemes together to get the balls to the playmakers. And honestly, that's something we've been working on for some time since I've been the head coach, if you want to know the truth. So just proud of our offensive staff. Defensive staff has done, Coach Soto and our staff did an outstanding job. But that game itself was some of the things we talk about: takeaways, turnovers. We had 1 turnover. They had 3 takeaways. We had 3 takeaways. We had 15 explosive plays during the game, and we only had 57 offensive plays, and so 15 of them were explosive plays. So when you look at that, 25% of your plays were mammoth plays, and so really had a big impact on that. Then the field position, we were able to control that with our kicking game and really the way the offense moved the ball. And then and then discipline. We've typically been one of the least penalized teams in the country year in, year out, and right now we're still at the top in the conference in the least penalized team. That's something that's actually near and dear to my heart, because most penalties, the officials call them discipline penalties. So if you're getting a penalty prior to the snap, we always talk to our team about that's a lack of discipline. So we want to make sure that we maintain the proper discipline to be able to do that. So but really proud of our kids and proud of how we've been playing up to this point. We played 2 away games, 2 home games. So we've already been road tested and then played at home as well. So it's been fun to play a new league. I've been asked over and over again, so I'll just answer. You're probably wondering that as well. They always want to compare what the KCAC is like to the Heart. I get asked that a lot. Really, the KCAC is just, really solid teams. Week in, week out, you're playing some really solid football teams, and so it's been fun to see some new venues. There's been some places that we've been. We don't even know what we're going to experience when we get there. And so when we get there, when I was in the Heart, I knew what the locker room was going to look like. I knew where we were going to park the bus. I knew which way. If the bus driver went the wrong way, I would tell him, hey, you missed that turn. Now we go to the KCAC, and it's all new to me. So I've got no clue. I'm just doing the best I can. So, but again, thank you for your support for Evangel football. Come out and watch us play. Again, a lot of the high schools here in town, we have players, our team from the local high schools here. That's obviously going to be our heartbeat. We're going to recruit to where we can get to in a tank of gas, which starts locally, and we're going to try to get the best football players that we can at Evangel. So, but appreciate it, Art. Always a pleasure to see you, and I'm super excited that you're back here. So, all right, God bless. All right, thank you.
And now the other end of the table, Coach Jim Johnson.
Apologize for not standing. This is where Dad and Coach collided today, so I apologize for that. But no better place to be when I got him in tow. Last couple of weeks, we started last time since I was here. We ended up playing Fairgrove. They came to our house with a great game plan. We withstood their blows there in the beginning, but we kind of kicked ourselves in our shins and kind of became our own worst enemy at times over the course of that game. And Bill and those guys, they had them ready to go, so they capitalized on everything we did wrong. But Fairgrove, give it to them. They're every bit of what they seem to be, and I wish them the best of luck as they go forward. After that, we had Fort Scott traveled up there to Kansas to play in a different state. Little different ball played up there, in my opinion, but football's still football. Again, it was a game that we started out really well in, but self-inflicted wounds kept us from continuing on forward. So it's one of those situations right now where we can't seem to be playing our best ball just because of our own mistakes. We've never felt that anybody came out and we couldn't compete with them, nor felt we couldn't be in the game from jump. So this week we're hoping to turn this thing around. We're going against still a strong Stratford team in Stratford. Timmy will have those boys ready as well, and both sides are looking for that next win. So hopefully we can just put it together, and we can start a nice little run for ourselves. So thank you.
I think that's it, guy. Back to you. Start
good start for Coach Tristan.
Yeah, well, thank you. And Art, I remember being here a year ago and us praying for you, and so seeing you here is pretty cool. So thanks for being here. Yeah, we're off to a kind of uncharted waters the last 3 years for us. It's been super cool. The kids are excited. I had a teacher come up to me in teacher meetings today and says, "Well, what are you doing different?" I said, "Nothing. I mean, I still coach the same way. I've always coached, and the kids are just a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, and they're just having fun. Like I said, really, we have 23 seniors, and the kids are really locked in. It's been a lot of fun. We have Russell Roten's our quarterback this year, and he is playing really well. And been a little bit better of a runner this year than I kind of anticipated. I guess I was poor coaching last year, but he's really doing a good job. And we have a running back, Gary Walker, that's a senior wrestler, and he's actually trimmed up. We talked about losing some weight, and he trimmed up, and he's performed really well, and those guys were exceptional. So it's going to be fun. Republic this week, which our boys always play them well. And it should be evenly matched. Watching film, you're always like, oh, I don't know, are we the same talent as they are? Are they bigger? And I feel like we're really evenly matched athletically. So it'll be a part of, like the coach saying, execution and how the guys play. It's a fun game, and I will say this: it's a lot funner when you win some ball games and the kids are locked in. But to Coach's point earlier, we've talked with our boys the last 3 years and have just got our identity. And it's a lot of fun. Sometimes the words I say are they mean more when we win, but even when we're really talking about your identity, it's not in football. It's in something more. And so I think the guys are they're kind of going a little bit holistic, which they're good dudes. We've really developed some guys, so it's been fun. So thanks again for having us.
Yeah, Friday night, Don and Tom will have the call. We'll be out at Republic for Willard and Republic in the Battle of the Tigers. On top of having some high school volleyball going on tonight in Stratford. Also, kind of a little bit different. Feels like I'm getting on the time machine. MediaCom will have live television coverage of Missouri State's home game against Utah Tech on Saturday. We will have 3 home games. That game, as well as Murray State and University of Northern Iowa. Those games will be live on MC22 in MediaCom households, and as always on ESPN3 and ESPN+.
All right, I know you've got an event coming up here in a week as well. You got a home game.
Well, Coach Beard's radio show Wednesday nights at Sept at ATO, so that's at the Big Shots Golf. That Bears game Saturday's home game. I'm doing that with Corey on the radio on 101.3. Go with that.
Anyone else have anything to add? Sorry?
I said, Ray, where are you Friday? Nevada. Get to watch a wing tee. Which is just a triple option. Call it what you want.
Very good. Well, coaches, I really appreciate it. I know I kind of reached out to Coach Tristan and Coach Morris about trying to make it back, and they did, and I really appreciate that. And Coach Evans being here as well. And Coach Ruff, the first time I've got to meet you as well, but really appreciate you guys coming out. Hey, next week, same bad time, same bad channel. Get here 11:30. The food's wonderful. We've been really well taken care of. Here by Bambinos, and come back and eat during the week if you like. The Missouri Sports Network, Friday nights, we start at 9:30. It's a YouTube. I'm not protecting that, where you can find it, but if you follow me on Twitter, it'll pop up right there. You can listen to it live. So, and then as always, go to the scoreboard, guy.net. Anybody else have any questions? All right. We're adjourned. There's more foods.